Hi, good day kabayan. I'm your coach Jonathan Petalver of The Academy, your training hub for entrepreneurship. Inaanyayahan kita this coming November 11 up to December 12. So 11-11, 12-12, 2020 to enroll into our 2 master classes in entrepreneurship. So you're just going to avail it for 499 pesos for the 2 master classes and with certification. So 6 courses: entrepreneurial branding, marketing, sales, customer service, and entrepreneurial management and leadership. So enroll now and log on to www.coachjonathan.net. And don't forget to use your sponsor's student code to avail of the 499 pesos only for the 2 master classes in entrepreneurship. Again, I'm your coach, Coach Jonathan Petalver of The Academy, your training hub for entrepreneurship. See you in class.
Good evening, everyone in the US, and magandang umaga ho sa inyong lahat in the Philippines. Welcome to the Planet 63 Virtual Market Show, the next evolution of discovering Philippine-made and US-made products and services. Hello, everyone. I hope everyone's doing really well. We are back, and we are ready to bring value to our guests and have fun doing it. Our show is about making local US and Philippine products become global. My name is Ferdinand Soriano of Planet 63 US, and I'm so glad that you can join us again. And for those viewing our show for the very first time, you will definitely discover something new. As always, we will be introducing 2 guests and their products that are relevant to the US market and the Philippine market. Now, I'd like to introduce all the way from the Philippines, Planet 63's managing partner. He is the founder and CEO, Petalver Consulting and The Academy. You could say he completes the bridge that helps our U.S. guests navigate in the Philippine market. Please welcome Professor John P.
There you go. Magandang lalaki pa rin tayong dalawa, Ferdinand.
Of course, definitely. It's like looking in the mirror.
Yeah, magandang umaga po sa ating lahat dito sa Pilipinas. Again, I'm your Professor John P. of The Academy, your training hub for entrepreneurship. No, this is our episode 8, Mr. Ferdinand Soriano of Planet 63. Products from the Philippines, products for the Filipinos.
You know, before we truly begin the show, Jonathan, obviously this is a global show. So give us some, tidbits or news about what's happening in the Philippines. So the one that's really, stands out. So what's going on in the Philippines?
Oh, of course, yeah. First things first, no, we were able to, again, survive this typhoon. Of course, you heard about Rolly, you heard about Ulysses, and we're now doing fine. So traffic as usual in EDSA. And we're back. No? We're back as if we have the vaccines here already.
Well, all I can tell you is that on social media, this is what I love about the Filipinos, okay? They showed, I don't know what show it was or post, but it showed everybody just having a good time with the typhoon, regardless of what. It's trying to show that the Filipinos are resilient, they're persevering, and they do everything they can to make something bad good. You know what I mean? That's what they were trying to show on social media.
Correct. And we've been doing this for centuries.
Yeah. That's why people gotta understand what Filipinos are about.
You know what, Ferdinand? Minsan yan naisip ko, resiliency pa ba ang tawag dito o sumpa?
Don't know.
Wag naman. But then again, sabi ko nga, you only live this earth once. So syempre, 'di ba, binaha lang. Ano pa magagawa mo, 'di ba? Yung iba, naglalangoy, you can check it sa mga sa Facebook. Yung iba racing pa, iba talaga.
To try to make something good out of something bad. So that's
that's why it's called Pilipinas, no? Pinili at Pinipino. Filipino. Piling-pili. Kami dito talaga kami, Ferdinand, piling-pili. Kaya nga I love our show, no, yung Planet 63, kasi kakaiba when you deal with the Philippines and when you deal with the Philippines on the good side, kakaiba. The world will really experience something that is extraordinary. That's why we're here, no, to really do that.
Oh yeah, definitely. And here in the US, for those people who are interested, obviously there's still a lot of interesting going on with the election. and that in itself is a story. That exactly itself is a is a is a show in itself, right? It's so many things going on, but the reality is that I think there was some breaking news that the transition will move forward in terms of Joe Biden, and then also
Wow.
in regards to the COVID. That's still being handled. We have our little challenges, but everybody in their own way trying to take care of it. Okay, with that said,
Correct.
I have two questions for the audience, Jonathan. I want to ask the audiences right now, do you need products for your online business? Are you in charge of purchasing or sourcing products for your company? Well, I want you to stick around. If you don't want to miss seeing our next guest, we think we might have something for you guys today. Now, stay tuned for our first guest. His name is Elazar Rada, founder of Valley Medical Coding Institute. So, Jonathan, if you want to say something about our friends at Cal State University San Bernardino, just a quick plug about them, about the show and how they're promoting us, and then we'll go into a commercial break.
Yeah. So again, thank you, Cal State University, the Global Access Program. The last time I watched it, it was really very interesting, and it really connects the whole world in terms of really, moving us forward together. So I'm very excited, Ferdinand, for our first guest today or tonight there in the US. And stay tuned. Planet 63, products from the Philippines, products
for the Filipinos.
Just because estudyante pa ako, doesn't mean I can't go off chasing my dreams.
Just because kasal na kami, doesn't mean we can't embark on a new journey.
Just because single parent ako, doesn't mean I can't go off on adventures.
Just because may edad na ako, doesn't mean I can't look for new experiences.
Just because single ako, doesn't mean I'm lonely.
And just because I'm on a budget, doesn't mean I can't experience the finer things in life.
That's why at AirAsia, we believe that when it comes to your dreams, no one should settle for anything less than what they deserve. That's why even if you pay less, doesn't mean it has to be less convenient. It doesn't mean you get less comfort. It doesn't mean you can't be treated like a VIP. Because whatever the price, getting you to your dreams shouldn't feel anything less than a luxury. AirAsia, the world's best low-cost airline.
Hello, everyone, again. You know what? Every week, we try to find products from the Philippines and the U.S. that we feel might be a good fit for that market and feature them on the show. And that's for the Philippines and in the U.S. If you're an online store owner or a sourcing agent for your company, please send us a message and we can help you find it in the Philippines or US. Okay, let's just get to our first guest. His company is a coding, billing, consulting, and a CDI company based in Los Angeles. They offer coding, CDI, and billing services to organizations such as home health, hospice, skilled nursing facility, medical groups. You know what? Due to COVID, many of his online classes are starting to gain popularity. What his company teaches can be turned into opportunities and benefits many individuals wherever you are in the world. Why not the Philippines, right? Please welcome from Valley Medical Coding Institute. Please welcome Adrian Hernandez. Adrian. I mistaken it. I guess that's what happens when I'm thinking of the next guest already, and this is also product. Ellie, sorry about that, my friend. I hope you won't hold it against me.
No worries, Ferdinand. Thank you for having me. Thank you, Ferdinand, and also thank you, Professor Jonathan, for having me on the show. And I'm very excited to be part of this. This really growing platform, growing show, which connects Filipinos and companies and also U.S. companies, and vice versa.
Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring Professor John P. back in the fold. He knows really the Philippine market, and he wants to be able to ask you some questions about how we can possibly utilize your classes and be able to give opportunities to the Filipinos. Right, Jonathan?
Correct. Hi there, Ellie. Kamusta?
Hi, kamusta, Jonathan? And also, kamusta sa mga kababayan natin dyan sa Pilipinas? Magandang umaga pala.
Magandang umaga. Napakaaga pa. Yeah.
Gabi na rito sa amin sa Los Angeles.
Correct. Quick question, Ellie. Yeah. So, this one is different, different from medical transcription. So here you don't look for clients, but you provide master classes or courses.
Yes,
Alright.
very different from medical transcriptionist. Ito yung, this is a type of career where you can actually grow from becoming a medical coder and also, grow into becoming a clinical documentation auditor. So it does not really require someone to have a medical background because I've had students who just finished high school, as a matter of fact, and now working for big companies here in the U.S. Medical transcriptionist is also a good medical career. What the difference between those two, medical coding and medical transcription, is that medical coding is more analytical in that regard. What I'm trying to say is that medical coders translate languages into codes so that codes can be converted into revenue, and that's because payers, the commercial payers and also government payers like Medicare here in the United States, pay the doctors and other healthcare organizations by codes that are submitted to them via claims, yung mga billing claims na pino-forward sa kanila. But medical transcriptionist is basically yung mga doctors. They usually create their documentation by voiceover. So medical transcriptionists, they translate them into languages. So yun ang pagkakaiba ng dalawa.
Correct. So what are they going to learn? I mean, what will they learn here? Let's say you offer courses globally, right? You can even offer it to Filipinos. Us here in the Philippines, sabi mo nga, ang gandang, it's a very good opportunity kasi nga, there are a lot of people who were laid off, even professionals themselves. I don't know if you're aware, even the doctors are, having not a hard time, but transitioning and pivoting in this new digital economy. So, what does a Valley Medical Coding has to offer? I mean, in terms of course, the opportunity is at the end, but however, more on the processes of applying, or do they have to take an exam before going into your academy or institute?
That's a very good question. Ang matututunan nila rito is, unang-una, stages itong learning na ito. You need to have a little bit of medical knowledge, which I also teach myself. Merong tinatawag kaming coders, basic anatomy, physiology, and pharmacology, because as a medical coder, you need to understand the fundamentals of healthcare, especially in the United States. We have a different healthcare system, of course. Iba rin sa healthcare system ng iba't ibang mga countries, But what they're going to learn here is they will be able to, to learn or determine yung mga diagnosis, how to translate them into codes. Yun ang kailangan matutunan. And also, they will also learn how to, of course, understand yung revenue processes dito sa America. And what I actually heard from a lot of people that maraming mga healthcare companies dito sa America that they have operations in the Philippines. And matter of fact, I know people who work in the Philippines right now that are who work in the US-based company that have companies in the Philippines. And what I also heard that if you have this certification, medical coding certification, you get paid more than those that are not certified. So, yun nga yung process ng pag-aaral dito is hindi naman masyadong mahaba. You only go to school like in 6 months, and then you're now prepared for certification exam, which is being administered by the American Health Information Management Association. Once you get certified here, you're certified. Actually, that certification is recognized internationally. Yeah.
You're on mute, Jonathan.
You're on mute.
Yeah, maybe a good question here, Ferdinand, is once a Filipino, let's say, takes this course and they pass it. You mentioned about the American Health Certification, right? is this a plus point for them? Because, di ba, alam mo naman sa Pilipinas,
Mhm.
the reason why some Filipinos, if not most Filipinos, take certification. I don't know if you experienced it, Ellie, before when you were still here in the Philippines, no? Yung, we always would like to have a, like a global training,
Yeah.
pangdagdag credentials and all. Will
Yeah.
it help them? Will it help them when they apply for a visa or something like that?
Well, definitely, it's gonna raise their stock, in terms of career positioning, because I mentioned earlier that your certification is not only recognized here in the U.S. but also recognized internationally, and that's the reason why American Health Information Management Association, which is the main agency that regulates this training and also certification and education in this industry, they have offered international, because a lot of people a lot of companies model their operations sa US, no?
Correct.
Matter of fact, may mga kaibigan akong nagtatrabaho sa UAE, actually, United Arab Emirates, and they're medical coders, and they are really paid like mas mataas pa ang bayad sa mga coders dito.
Yeah, that's exactly, I'm going to jump in really quick, because that's exactly what I'm trying to, that's the reason why we asked you to be on the show, Ellie, only because when we first talked, what we're trying to do here not only is to introduce your company to the Philippines, but also really motivate the Filipinos to maybe consider taking the course, because the opportunity is amazing, like we talked about. Right, because it's not only the material, but it's the material that most of the U.S. companies are looking for, and the fact that with everything was happening with COVID and technology, it's so amazing that you're able to do now that what you couldn't do maybe, I don't know, 5 or 10 years ago or whatever, and then be able to create somebody's livelihood for the future. They don't have to even go anywhere, right? That's exactly what I want you to emphasize, that and the opportunity.
Interestingly, you mentioned Ferdinand about what happened during pandemic. It actually blessing in disguise for companies like us, who have transitioned from the physical class before. I used to do physical class when I started this company 5 years ago. Now, when a pandemic happened, we are forced to transition into all electronic, environment of teaching. So, and a lot of people who were basically home based and quarantining, basically locked down here in the United States, they're looking for a lot of things. Something that is beneficial to do. And what I'm trying to say here is that my increase of about learning the course has actually significantly increased during pandemic. And matter of fact, right now I have a student in the Philippines learning this course, and and I told them this is the time, the timing of my class, and he was okay with it, because I teach in the evening, it's morning in the Philippines, and he does not have any problem because he works in the evening there in the Philippines, and in a business processing organization. So it works though. It works just fine for a lot of people.
You know what, Ferdinand? The opportunity here, because when I look at opportunities, right, I always look at 3 things. Number 1 is industry.
Yeah.
Now, the industry where Valley Medical Coding is the healthcare, and we know most countries, if not all countries, their budget is now focused on healthcare.
Yes.
Right. Number 2, market. When I talk about market opportunity, once I took the program, will I have opportunity? You have, and not only that. I mean, Filipinos here in the Philippines and Filipinos around the globe. Because you mentioned about UAE. Of course, UAE would like Filipinos or anyone who will apply to them with that American, health certification. As you mentioned, it because that's the reason why we educate ourselves, to add value to our man hour value. And number 3 is the convenience, right? The convenience of taking it online, at their own pace, of course, maximum of 6 months, right? Maybe, Ferdinand. I mean, that's my take on this opportunity that Ellie here is offering the Filipinos or the Philippines.
Right.
In fact.
No,
Well,
I think that's exactly what I'm trying to come across is that I really what whoever's watching this in the Philippines or anywhere else, right? The important thing to me is that they can see the practical purpose of it. They're not going to waste their time. It's not just
Yeah.
some class. It's going to be something that's truly practical. And then the moment they finish the class, then they can utilize these skills and create an income for them. That's exactly how I break it down like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because let's say you enroll here at $1,000, right? You know, Filipinos would always think, what's the ROI, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I will learn it. I will learn it because I will learn it. Filipinos
Yeah.
will say, I will learn it. How much? And then what will be the return? And maybe you'd like to share the success rate of them being employed or getting a project once they have this kind of certification.
Okay, so let me start with this student of mine in the Philippines, and the reason why he's taking the course right now is that because he said when he gets the certification, he's going to get promoted in the company because he's been working in I think the name of the company is United Healthcare, and there's a big based here in the United States. In fact, one of the biggest companies here in the United States. So that's what he's trying to get. He's trying to get certified because he said he's gunning for promotion. And we all know that Philippines is a country that has an oversupply of medical people or people who work in healthcare, and this is a good way for them to to segue or transition from a lot of our Filipino fellow Filipinos are nurses and medical professionals. They can transition into this career because I forgot to mention earlier na yung flexibility nitong trabahong ito na you can actually work remote. You don't have to be physically on site kung saan man yung company mo. And matter of fact, as I'm running this company that I have, I'm also doing consulting business for other big organizations here in the United States. And that flexibility of being able to work remote is a big plus for a lot of people. And one thing that I also like to mention is that this pandemic has opened a lot of opportunities for medical coders and those that are becoming to be medical coders or becoming medical coders in the future. Is that because, of course, alam naman natin na itong COVID, itong nangyari sa atin, no? Itong pandemic, maraming mga clinical documentation audits na ginagawa ngayon, no? In fact, I'm very much involved right now sa mga processes na yan, no? And hindi pa matatapos until maybe years later because of of all the clinical documentations that are needed to be audited kasi merong relationship yan doon sa revenue or reimbursement ng mga healthcare companies. That's the reason why we are seeing a potential of medical coding career to really explode in the next few years because of
Ellie,
COVID. Yeah,
I have a quick comment. Well, I don't know if it's a quick comment, I know, but
Yeah.
ideally for me, the one thing that I see when I keep hearing you talk, I just keep hearing opportunities. I'm being idealistic maybe to a certain degree, but as you know, the Philippines has been known in many cases where the economy has to diversify itself to be able to promote or try to create employment, right? So to me, what's exciting about what you're doing is that there's already a mindset about the medical field in the Philippines, right? And then on top of that, now they can learn this thing. And then on top of that, they don't have to go to another country per se, unless you don't, unless you really want to create a livelihood. And then, the OFWs, right? Not that I'm not saying that you shouldn't. I'm just saying with what you're trying to teach or what you're trying to bring to the masses, so to speak, in the Philippine, in the country. I think that's what's exciting for me, knowing that somebody's watching here. I learned this thing. I can make X amount of dollars, and you can help them do that. And even, I don't know if your company will help them do that, but you'll be able to create opportunities for them because you know who is looking for what. Is that correct? Am I thinking correctly, Ellie?
Yeah, Ferdinand. I mean, you are very correct about that. If I can also make mention of what I'm doing on the side, aside from education and training, Jonathan and Ferdinand. 2 years ago, we opened another, part of the business, which is medical coding and billing. And from 2 years ago until now, we've seen significant growth in this part of our company's business. And yung marami akong mga graduates ngayon dito sa US na mismo sa akin na nagtatrabaho. So I'm also thinking about, we're seeing a trend of growth dito sa business na ito, and we're also thinking about outsourcing it in the future. Of course, kaya sa Pilipinas, di ba? Di sa mga kababayan natin na matulungan.
Correct.
So, yun ang nakita kong isang malaking opportunity rin para sa mga kababayan natin dito sa Pilipinas when we start, outsourcing this business there. Of course, kung sino yung mga, ako mismo yung nag-train, sila mismo ang makikinabang sa kuna ito, sa business na ito.
Yeah, to add to that, Ferdinand and Ellie, just imagine, because here in the Philippines, Ferdinand, remember, my clients are hospitals, pharmaceutical companies and all. And prior to COVID, I've been training nurses, medical staff, and all over the Philippines, right? And just imagine, there's an average of 40% who were laid off for every hospital. Just imagine that. So let's say 500 nurses. Yung iba talagang wipe out. Syempre because of the, kailangan makabawi ng hospital and all. Sabihin na lang natin 100. 100 medical staff, these are nurses or medical technologies, with a science degree or something, times 1,000. 100,000 are displaced. And with your opportunity right now, Ellie, mag-aral lang sila sa'yo, take the course, and you know who the clients are, right? And that's why there's an opportunity. The only concern sa akin dito, Ferdinand, if I may raise this up, and a lot of people are listening right now. Kasi syempre, yung mga nurses, like pharma, they know pharmacology, di ba matitindi yan eh. Tapos ito, madali na sa kanila to, definitely. Kumbaga, some sort of alignment, hindi sila mahirapan. But the point is, kumbaga, is there a way that they can avail of this? Because, naman, tinamaan sila financially and all. Is there a good, like, payment term for them since, you'd like to help them in a way? But of course, for an opportunity as great as this one.
Of course naman, alam mo, aking talaga sa my heart is really very close to, of course, sa education. Kasi nanggaling ako kung nabasa ni Ferdinand siguro yung profile ko lumaki ako sa street I was a jeepney driver dati, tricycle driver. So dumaan ako sa stage na yan. So I know, I've lived it. So of course, nung naisip ko yung mga kabayan natin, mga Pilipino, I can definitely make an arrangement for them na makakaya nila. Kasi dito sa Amerika talagang hindi yung rate ng Amerika, kahit yung pinakamababang rate namin dito hindi ma-afford ng mga kabayan. But I'm of course with your partnership with Jonathan, ikaw ang magiging bridge dito, we can make things happen na hindi masyadong financially burden ng ating mga kababayan.
Sir, imagine mo, Ferdinand, just to add to that, these are graduates of a 4-year science-related course with a 5 to 10-year experience. Sir, 100,000 have been displaced. Tapos may ganitong opportunity. Kumbaga, ang tanong na lang dito, baka sabihin nila, sir, pwede po bang yung study now, pay later? But at the end of the day, diba, where you were helping. Ang ganda, Ferdinand. I mean, I really can
Yeah.
feel
No,
the integrity of the show and
I,
the guest as well.
I think overall what could happen is that I know you're exploring it and you're about and you can have it. So obviously the cost of delivering the materials won't be as intense, right? But I'd like to think that there's room that you could adjust because obviously you're dealing with another market. That's what it is about international trade. You could have just done it this way or you could explore it. But at the end of the day, what we want to have people do is engage you to really talk, ask you about the possibilities, and then from there you'll learn how many people are really dedicated or really motivated to do that. And then I'm sure in your heart, just like what you said, you can figure out a way of some sort of a plan, because at the end of the day, you're not just trying to create a livelihood, but everybody is just trying to learn something new. Everybody wants to be progressive. Okay, so that's probably it for me, Ellie. Jonathan, are you pretty much done with the questions? Because I want to go ahead and maybe introduce.
No, I'm not done yet. I'm not done yet because just imagine I have like 1,000 hospitals here. That's why when Ellie gets back, remember he will get back before we end the show, right?
Oh yeah.
I will ask him this $1 billion question, and if he answers it, I think Ellie will be back here in the Philippines for the next 10 years to support.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I see that. That's my vision. If you don't do it, Ellie, Professor John here will go ahead and track you down, because with what you're trying to teach, it's not just so much. Obviously, it's livelihood, but that's the exciting part. You're going to be able to not just create a livelihood, but maybe a lot of people don't have to leave the country just to create a livelihood.
Ferdinand, for Ferdinand, it's like this, because I always follow the 4 E's. We educate, we equip, we empower, but make sure we enable, because this is the last E that's sometimes forgotten. With your program, you are enabling them, but for them to be enabled, they have to be empowered and equipped through that education.
Wow.
And interesting, very interesting.
All right, guys. So we have to move on. Unfortunately, such a heated or a very lively conversation. But our next guest, everyone, stay tuned, because our next guest is poised and ready to take on the multi-billion-dollar MCT oil and powder global market, everyone. So we can't wait to find out more about their products. So please stay tuned after this informational and commercial break.
It's more fun in the Philippines,
but it's more fun if it lasts. SOS is a call for help
to save our spots.
A campaign focused on sustainability
and how applying it can make us better travelers
and more responsible tourists.
To make it simple,
dapat lang marunong tayong rumispeto.
Respect the environment.
Pick up the trash you see.
Kahit hindi ka nagkalat.
Respect our culture and heritage.
Magpaalam bago kumuha ng pictures ng mga locals.
At huwag basta-basta hawakan ng sites. Respect everyone around you.
Dapat good vibes tayo sa kapwa Pilipino.
At syempre sa mga foreign friends din natin.
Dahil dito sa SOS,
sama-sama tayo.
And every little act we do can help make a big difference.
At home and while traveling.
Like opting for reusables
instead of disposables.
Biking and walking more. Using less electricity.
As long as we're consistent.
And we convince everyone around us to do the same.
We can change this country for the better.
Huwag natin babayaan ang Pilipinas.
Join this cause.
Dapat hindi lang maganda ang pinupuntahan nating destinations.
Dapat pinapaganda pa natin ito.
While we're there.
Let's appreciate and take more care
of our nature's beauty.
Para more travels tayo around the country,
more tourists,
being more respectful,
and more fun in the Philippines.
Let's make our destinations last.
Save our spots.
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 Para more fun forever.
Yeah, Ferdinand.
Hello, everyone. We are back. Professor John, I could say that we've been having a great conversation, huh?
Correct.
So
but before you introduce Ferdinand, let me just give a shout out to those who are watching live from the Philippines and around the globe. Michi Concepcion, thank you so much for watching. Christian Sabiniano, ad maiorem Dei Gloriam. He used to be my schoolmate from the business school. Of course, Jel Gonzalodo, the CEO of Zing. Wilhelmina Yao Lopez is
Wow.
watching us tonight. Of course, John Supan of the Maneuvers. For sure, Eli Rada can relate to this. John Supan is our managing partner for Artistpreneurship. Chuck Reduta and Diana Chamson. There you go.
Wonderful. I thank you for everyone for watching. We appreciate your support, and we continue to make sure that we bring value to all the people that are watching us. So again, thank you so much for watching. Now, before we introduce our next amazing product from the Philippines, let's bring in, I hope she's able to come in. Let's bring in Planet 63's resident marketing professional and Philippine product supporter, Christina Espiritu from MyJeepneyStop USA. Now, let me go ahead and kind of give a brief intro of who she is, and then she can go ahead and tell you more about herself. Their company is now the fastest growing Filipino online directory in the US with close to 3,000 active listings, and has since expanded its services to include event management, targeted marketing services, and has recently launched the Philippine Trade Investment Promotions Network. Please welcome Christina. Hi, Christina. Oh, you're on mute. You're on mute.
Here. Hi, got so excited. That's why.
Yeah, I know, right? You know what I'm going to do? I'll give you the honors of introducing our next guest, but go ahead and speak a little bit about MyJeepneyStop and what your company does.
Sure. So MyJeepneyStop, you've mentioned that we are the fastest growing online directory with over 3,000 active listings, but we also offer a multicultural marketing agency with product awareness to clients both internationally and domestically. But since we're Filipinos, my co-founder is Filipino, we have a special place in our hearts for Philippine manufacturers who want to bring their business here in the U.S. So so it's an honor for me to be here. It's always a pleasure.
No, we need you here. Like I was joking around with you in the green room, so to speak. There's too much testosterone here, so I'm glad that you're here. There's too many guys. But hey, I just want to make sure that I don't know if you're hearing that, but there's a little crackling noise. But we might have to mute you, but just in case, okay, if it gets a little bit carried away. I don't know if our audience can hear that. But go ahead and introduce our next guest, Christina.
Sure. So our next guest, it's my pleasure to introduce our next guest, who is the managing partner of Enjoy Health USA. And they have their main office located in Metro Manila, Philippines, and have recently established an office in Southern California. So their attention to detail in developing their product is outstanding. That's why I'm so excited to hear more about it. So you definitely will need to compete, which will definitely need to compete in a billion-dollar global industry. So to give us more details on how amazing their product is, please welcome Adrian Hernandez.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Christina.
We're waiting. Hi, Adrian.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. I'm assuming we're all in the same time zone here, yeah?
So good
Oh, ang
evening to you
gabi na dito, pero ang magandang umaga sa mga tao dyan sa Pinas.
Yeah. Because you're only, maybe 30 minutes away from me, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think so, most likely.
Yeah, I'm in Orange County. Yeah, so first, it's a pleasure to meet you virtually, but please tell us more about Enjoy Health USA.
Yeah, firstly, I'd like to thank everyone for the opportunity for me to actually speak upon the company at the same time of our products as well. Enjoy Health, we pretty much started the company with the focus of supplying and producing MCT products with a really strong health focus for functional health benefits. We wanted to actually get MCT products at a more affordable production cost. So at least when it comes to getting the product into the market, whether it's in the Philippines or here in the States, we really wanted to try to find a focus with a cost focus actually with the product. At the same time, we really wanted to stay focused with a innovative mindset where we're supplying an MCT product, but it's different. It's not what you actually see in the market. It's it is oils, it is powders. You see that on the market as well, but our products are somewhat variably different than the competitors as well.
Tell us what.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I said, because I know you said, I think there's a filler that's normally present in MCT oil, right? That you don't have.
Correct. So obviously, one thing really important with the coconut industry that's, from our experience that we've been experiencing for the past couple of years is the lack of education when it comes to explaining MCT products to our customers. What a lot of people don't really realize, and what a lot of people to actually take the habit in doing, is comparing MCT products to coconut products, virgin coconut oil, refined coconut oil. And when it comes to our MCT powders, we really wanted to take a step back, look at our competitors, see what's happening in the market. At the same time, going back to our focus, which is health, keto, and direct and developing a product specifically for that market. We've made a powder specifically just two ingredients. It's just with MCT oil and acacia fiber. Acacia fiber itself is a probiotic that has its own health benefits by itself. Combined with a pure C8 MCT oil, you have a product in the market that's not just very innovative, but it has double whammy the benefits as well.
Great. So for now, well, I know that it was founded in the Philippines.
Yeah.
So how did you get into the business? How did you find out about it and became involved?
Oh man, well, I mean, to give everyone a little bit of a history of myself, I moved to the Philippines back in 2013. I embedded myself pretty much within the coconut industry. I first started off as a coconut trader. From there, I made my way up with various different coconut products. Started off with RBD coconut oil. Worked with various companies. Galing sa mga probinsya dun sa Lucena, Tayabas. Working with them with virgin coconut oil. Fast forward till today, the next step is MCT oil. We have to take into account that Philippines is not the only country producing coconut products. The best quality about the Philippines that we have so far is a lot of customers are actually recognizing Philippines to be the number one source for quality coconut products. But granted, with that being said, we're also the most expensive. Compared with Thailand, Indonesia, Sri Lanka, other countries that specialize in coconut products. Again, it goes back to not just innovation, but how can we produce a product in the Philippines that we can keep in the Philippines, and at the same time, be such a premium product where we could bring it outside the Philippines and just be recognized just as a premium brand.
So tell us, like, how do we use this MCT oil? Like, is it in a recipe? Is it in a drink? Is it food?
Yeah. So when it comes to our MCT oils, definitely, we've tailored our pure C8 MCT oil for supplemental use. The MCT oil itself, I think I must say, is completely different than what other competitors actually have on the market. If you take the actual definition and the definition of MCT oil, and you compare that with the actual DNA of regular coconut oil, we've taken only the parts which have the most health benefits, which is really just one MCT, which is called C8 caprylic acid MCT. How you would use that in your daily routine is the same way you would use other health oils as well, but the only difference is you would get a lot more point health benefits with this product than most competitors out there. You would use it for salad dressings. I personally use it. I personally use it for coffees and teas. You could use it for mild stir fry cooking. When it comes to our powders, our MCT powders, a much more versatile product. Whereas MCT oil, and this is just to be transparent with everybody. The more oil you take, just because it is oil, it does give you somewhat of a digestive discomfort, borderline diarrhea type discomfort. But if you move towards something like a powder version, for example, our MCT powders are tailored where you could just consistently take them and not have any digestive comfort whatsoever. When it comes to our MCT powders, it's a little bit more compared to protein powders. So I find that it's a lot more easily assimilated for the active lifestyle. For example, you could use it for protein shakes, for fruit shakes. You could still use it for cooking and whatnot. But I personally enjoy the powders more better than the oils, because I like the less trips to the bathrooms, to be honest.
I'm gonna jump in because I don't know if Adrian has the products with him. But I also wanted to say hello to Mackie Soriano. So she's
Hello,
the one who's been coordinating a lot, right? I mean,
Yeah. I wish, I wish I was back in the Philippines. I mean, not really, since everyone knows what happened during quarantine. But shout out to my partner Maki, who's pretty much spearheaded the marketing campaigns and really got this product off the ground. And yeah.
No, so it's like I told her, I promised her that I would actually do a product demo to a certain degree. So I don't know if I'm gonna do it. Okay.
It's funny because she mentioned that we're supposed to show a video before the presentation, but it's a good thing now I'm just able to talk a little bit more.
No, it's all good. The reality for me is that I just want you to speak passionately about the product because you have every right to, because the product itself is amazing. Before I show the texture of the product, so I'm going to do a little bit of a product demo, like one of these kind of things.
Nice. There you go.
See,
you just gotta lose the shirt.
Yeah. This is the product that Mackie sent me, and I just have to commend you because of the packaging that you guys took a lot of detail in making this thing happen. So I'm very proud of that fact that you created a product not only because of the superiority when it comes to coconut products, but you took the time to deal with the packaging, right? So you got everything in here, front and back, as far as the way this whole thing is about. It says they're gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free, vegan, and then the beauty of this product, and I'm gonna take your job for a little bit here, okay?
Yeah, sure. Please do.
it comes with this scoop, everyone. So what that means is that I personally have been using this for about at least a week and a half now. So I throw it in everything technically. Like Adrian said, I haven't used the oil because I don't want to go there, but it's because I don't want to find out that I have an aversion to oil. So I've been taking this powder, putting it in oatmeal, smoothie. I mean, the solubility is amazing if you put it in coffee. Like if you put it in first and then pour the coffee, it actually, there's no funky taste or smell or anything like that you're going to be afraid of. So, but the thing that I want to reemphasize and why I'm excited to talk about the product, and support it is because it is truly the best product that I think you can get from a coconut, right? And on top of that, like I said, it's not it's C8 MCT. It's the best that you can get from it, and there's different version. And then the acacia fiber that Adrian was saying is probably the seller for me. So if you've never tested or never tasted coconut powder or oil, okay, you might go, well, what the heck is that? Is it good? I promise you, it's good. It actually will help you in dealing with a lot of ailments, I guess, kind of manage it. But at the end of the day, what I like about it is that you can easily put it in a lot of your food and it doesn't create any sort of weird taste. Well, anyway, that's all I wanted to say, Adrian.
Oh, no worries. I think I actually wanted to add on that when it comes to the actual effects that it has towards some ailments. I myself have actually gone through a lot of medical ailments for the past 2 years, and whether it's bedridden ailments or whatnot. But I tell you, ever since I've introduced MCT products into my life, the main priority for anyone really taking MCT products, especially if you're very, very much aware of the benefits, which is really just improving cognitive function and maintaining a steady energy level throughout the day, with no crash. And how that's actually benefited me was, I take less naps during the day, but at the same time, I don't feel super jerky. At the same time, as far as the cognitive function that I mentioned, it keeps my brain active. It doesn't, I don't get, during my ailments some years ago, I was just bedridden, just blank in my mind. But by taking MCT products, it kept me active mentally and it kept me active physically. Granted, I wasn't working out at the time, but it got me through. It got me through that mental stage for sure.
Well, Jonathan, if you could take a picture of me again, or rather put me on the screen again really quick. I wanted to show the consistency of this thing. It's really powder. My sister-in-law walked in on me and she thought I was going to snort something. It's not. I'm just going to be funny with it. It's really. She says, "What are you doing with that? What is that?" So I told her what it was, and she was actually amazed. She actually wants to try it now, and so that's why it's very powdery. Like I said, it doesn't create any sort of problem if you add it to your food. So
Yeah.
anyway, Christina, can you come back into the screen? I wanted, just ask Adrian about their plans, so to speak, about going into the U.S. market, and then you could take over from there. I just want to do my little product demo, so this way
I appreciate it.
do my
Thank you,
part and
sir.
earn my money.
Yeah, thank you so much for.
So Christina, go ahead and really, I really want everyone here in the U.S. because the U.S. ingredient industry is so full of potential that we really need to support this type of product, especially this type of product, because there's so much in the Philippines. Don't you think, Christina? Okay, we're a little bit of crackling. I guess maybe Christina's crackling some peanuts. I'm just kidding.
I know. I keep thinking that. Maybe she's making something.
Yeah, she's making something. It's all good. Okay, so so anyway, so I'll ask for Christina. Now, in terms of that, right now, I've been telling people about it. Where can they get it now in terms of the product, Adrian? What can they do, right? Like people in the US. I know I have some, so maybe people are interested in it. They can hit me up if they want. I mean, I could try to send them some samples of the product. But if you're here in the US right now, please go ahead and message me and Jonathan and let us know what you want to do.
Definitely. Right now, I think right now we're actually still very much in the infant stage as far as entering the U.S. markets is concerned. Right now, we're trying to take advantage of the advantages that we can by working with Amazon. Just at the fact that as far as importation, as far as warehousing, distribution, obviously as everyone knows, Amazon handles all of that. But as far as working with any other distribution companies, primarily, that's obviously the main goal. We have to focus on the changes that we have to anticipate for 2021 in the future because of what COVID brought upon us, which is the lack of the significant reduction of human interaction when it comes to shopping for groceries or going outside whatsoever. The rate in which people are shopping online has I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I can only imagine doubled or even tripled, or most likely will even increase in the next couple of years. So with that being said, that would be our biggest competitive advantage would be, not only just price, not only just labeling, but if we could enter the market digitally and capture that market digitally, where we can get in front of people, in front of their laptops or screens or whatever, or whatever. I feel like not only would that yield the company and yield the country, obviously, giving us more recognition, but it would also allow us to produce a product in the Philippines, made by Philippines, and I mean everything from the packaging material that we sourced in the Philippines, the bottling, the caps, the MCT oil, everything's in the Philippines, and that gives us an advantage as far as just going to just one source compared to working with these big branded companies.
Well, what I'm hoping for you is that whoever watches this or what you guys are doing social media, it's not at least for me, it's not a play on the consumer, because the reality is that takes a lot of work. I mean, I would love that where we're just marketing it directly to consumer, but I think overall this product can be married with other types of product, like meal replacement products that will enable distributors to order in bulk as opposed to be one-on-one. I love the fact that you can do that on Amazon, but I'm thinking big in the sense that it's a raw ingredient that you perfected and created something that can be mixed in with other products. Like I said, just on the food alone, where you're doing it at home, but other products that a nutritional supplement manufacturer would love. Like
now, are you talking about actually supplying that, for example in the States, let's say for example a toll manufacturing, an ingredient supplier, who's working with US brands and whatnot, and they want to incorporate Enjoy Health's MCT powder or C8 MCT oil as an added ingredient to their product catalog. That's definitely another section that we could do as well. that kind of removes the whole headache of packing and labeling and whatnot into Enjoy Health. But if there's a way that we could just supply Enjoy Health via bulk, which is more than a definite for sure situation, that could benefit everybody.
Well, this is more like a comment to the whole agricultural industry, okay? Basically, what I'm just saying is that there's so much in the Philippines like this that you can sell it in this channel, not
Yes.
necessarily by packages like that. Don't get me wrong. Everybody wants to have their own brand. I'm not saying that, except that this is where, at least to me, the opportunity lies. Okay. So that's what I'm trying to talk about. So anyway, do you have any sort of a parting comment, before we bring in, everybody else back?
Not really. I mean, like all I could really say is that when it comes to MCT in the coconut industry, as far as the Philippines is, I would really want to keep that product production focus strictly just that. I don't want to adopt the cycle of outsourcing to other companies to do our packing, which is outside the country. We produce everything in the Philippines. We have the capacity to produce everything in the Philippines. So why not do that, but put a premium on it by just producing something that's quality at the same time, make the packaging, modernized and whatnot, so it speaks to everybody.
No.
And yeah, that's it.
The product, I've seen the price. The product is competitively priced. So anybody out there looking for that in bulk, then like I said, you need to do more of these shows, Adrian, because the reality is that
I know.
You just need one distributor to go, oh, I love that, and the quality is amazing, right? So you're good, and then you're set. Anyway, hey, Jonathan, let's go ahead and bring everybody back.
There you go. Except for Christine, I think she went off.
Oh, she went. Oh, man.
Right.
Okay, so with that being said, now, if anyone out there watching us right now, if you are interested of any of these products or want to send this, this show a message, please respond to Facebook page or email us at info@planet63.com. So again, what we're trying to do is, if you're looking for a product that you want to have sourced in the US or in the Philippines, that's what we do. That's what Planet 63 does. That's what Jonathan does in the Philippines. He helps US businesses navigate through the Philippine market, and that's what we do here in the US especially with Christine and MyJeepneyStop. So again, I'm going to give this opportunity for Ellie to say anything that moving forward. Jonathan, Adrian, again. Sure. So go ahead, Ellie. Why don't we start with you? Is there anything that you want to say, and how do you want everybody to respond to you? Where can they get a hold of you, Ellie? You're on mute, Ellie.
All right. So again, thank you, Ferdinand and Jonathan, for having me on the show. I am really, really excited with this partnership, being able to work with you, and also being able to bring to our Filipino audience and also our American audience, what this medical coding career is. And like what I said, there's tons of opportunity right now in this career, and it is expanding. As we speak right now, it has expanded exponentially from the last time that I initially invested into this business, and there's more actually to come, because
well, it looks like we got that's the beauty of the internet. Sometimes they go off and on.
And of course, I'd like to also make mention of of course, our Filipino. I want to cater to our Filipino friends back there, and I am very much willing to, of course, to create a product specifically for them with the same result as as if they're taking it here in America. And of course, I'm going to be working with Jonathan in this regard, because this is his expertise, this is his field, entrepreneurship and also education, which my heart is really, really close to.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Ellie. Adrian, you want to say anything? I mean, oh, by the way, Jonathan, is there any way that we could still, when we close out the show, play the Adrian's video? Is there any way we could do that?
Yeah.
Can we do that when we show, when we end the show?
Actually, the file is not with me, so if Adrian has that, maybe
about that. I will just hit share screen and I will just play the video for everybody.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, before you do that, why don't we do this? We played the video, but go ahead and make your last comment, John. And so we'll use the video as our sending off sort of commercial.
Sure.
Is that okay? So anyway, so our tagline for this show is, what was it, Jonathan? What is our tagline?
Planet 63.
Hey.
Products from the Philippines, right?
Yeah, you say Ferdinand, since you're from the US, you say products from the Philippines. Since I'm from the Philippines, I'll say products for the Filipinos.
There you go. Products from the Philippines.
Products for the Filipinos.
There you go.
Thank
So
you.
why don't we close
Yeah.
out the show? Thank you everyone for watching the show, but we
Thank
couldn't
you so
do the
much.
show without going ahead and showing the video. Thank you everyone.
Yeah, thank you everybody.
Thank you.
Guys, John, Ferdinand, thank you everybody for having me in the show. And yeah, I don't really have that much to say just because I'll just forward you guys to the video, and that's it.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Planet 63.
Thank you, Ellie. Kita tayo ulit.
Okay, let's connect. That's for sure.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay, 1 second, guys.
Okay. All right, guys.
There you go. Take care, Adrian.
Thank you, guys.
Hi, good day, kabayan. I'm your coach, Jonathan Petalver of The Academy, your training hub for entrepreneurship. Inaanyayahan kita this coming November 11 up to December 12. So 11-11, 12-12, 2020 to enroll into our 2 master classes in entrepreneurship. So you're just going to avail it for 499 pesos for the 2 master classes and with certification. So 6 courses: entrepreneurial branding, marketing, sales, customer service, and entrepreneurial management and leadership. So enroll now and log on to www.coachjonathan.net. And don't forget to use your sponsor's student code to avail of the 499 pesos only for the 2 master classes in entrepreneurship. Again, I'm your coach, Coach Jonathan Petalver of The Academy, your training hub for entrepreneurship. See you in class.